Hey YouTube, it's Jurak Master, and today I'm bringing you a Dark World budget deck. Mainly, the only cards in here you don't get from the actual deck, I think, are Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, and Solemn Judgment. So, pretty easy to make. You just buy 3 of the deck and throw in your staples. I put in a Morphing Jar too. So, other than that, you get everything in here from the structure deck, and it's a fun deck and everything. I actually kind of have respect for Dark Worlds. They're just a real pain to face, and they're real easy to make. I mean, I get really mad at them when I face them because they're kind of cheap. This isn't even the best build. I just wanted to put one out there that's pretty good and doesn't cost much. What with the good builds requiring like tour guides and everything, most of you probably don't want to go out of your way to get tour guides to play a deck if you don't really have any passion for the deck. And I'm guessing most of you don't really love Dark Worlds enough to go out and get tour guides, but might like them enough to just play them, such as me. I might play them against my friends before locals, so like non-official duels and everything. I might play it at locals one week. Pretty fun deck, and I'm going to go over the strategies as well. And I'm not going to go over what the cards do when they're discarded by an opponent, just by you, because most of the time you won't encounter that. That's not really part of the strategy. They're just added effects that are helpful if you're, say, facing a Dark World deck in a mirror match. That would help. Someone runs Morphing Jar. That helps. All that kind of stuff. If for some reason they call it with Mind Crush, then that helps too. Stuff like that. Just to help you if they discard it, but the strategy is when you discard it. So, just change this up. First off, 3 Grapha, Dragon Lord of Dark World. Best card in the deck, probably, next to the field spell. 2700 attack, 1800 defense. They're all fiends, pretty obviously, except Morphing Jar, who's in here just because it discards a lot. And, you know, it's Morphing Jar. So, you get, when it's discarded, you destroy a card your opponent controls, and by returning a face-up Dark World monster you control to your hand, you can special summon it from your graveyard. Very, very, very good. Helps the deck a lot. Actually, that's really the reason that the deck is good. That and the field spell. That's what we've all been waiting for. If anyone wanted to play Dark Worlds, that's what they had to wait for. Snow is very good. Snow, Unlight of Dark World. 1700 attack, you can normal summon it, because it's level 4. And if it's discarded, search your deck for a Dark World card and add it to your hand. So, very helpful. Searches out the field spell, searches out any monster in your deck, really. Obviously, Morphing Jar is always the exception here. And just really nice card. Normal summonable, and if you have the field spell out and normal summon it, you can tribute it for deck devastation or special summon Grapha with it, and just, you don't need the field spell for that. So, next up, I have 3 Brow, Huntsman of Dark World. Only 1400 attack, so you can't just normal summon it and tribute it for the virus, but when it's discarded, it allows you to draw a card, so that's helpful. Speeds the deck up, keeps your hand alive, all that stuff. So next up are the 6 guys that are going to just special summon when they're discarded to the graveyard. They have identical stats, and they're pretty much the same person. So first off, 3 Silva, 2300 attack, 1400 defense. When it's discarded, it's special summoned. Pretty easy. And a lot of you guys probably know this one too. Gold, Wu Lord of Dark World. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. 2300 attack, 1400 defense. Fiend, level 5, gets special summon when it's ditched. They're just the strong guys that come out when you discard them. Helpful special summoners, all that. So now I'm running 2 Scar, Scout of Dark World. Stats aren't impressive, whatever. When he's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, add level 1 or level 4 or lower Dark World monster from your deck to your hand. Very nice. Sets the Dark World in the graveyard for you if you got a slow starting hand, and then you can use it for the field spell, and it guarantees that you have a Snow or Brow in hand just to use to get the whole loop of evil started. Next up are 3 guys that are just in here because you can normal summon them to help out with Grapha, and you can special summon them to help out with, swarming the field. They don't make Deck Devastation Virus work. They're only 1600 attack. Defense really doesn't matter, but you can see right there it's 1300. When it's discarded, special summon it to your side of the field. Really doesn't even do anything if the opponent discards it, just the same exact thing, gets special summoned. Not the most helpful thing, seeing as it would only be 1900 with the field spell out, but you can normal summon it to work with Grapha, and that's really helpful. And it just helps you, have monsters to normal summon if you get stuck in a bad situation. And one Morphing Jar, the one card in here that isn't as common as it can be. I couldn't find my common Morphing Jar. So, it just discards, resets the hands, and you get all your nice card effects. Pretty cool. So that was the monster lineup. I believe I have 22 in here right now, 21, 22, something like that. And works pretty well. I have enough monsters because you do need to have a fiend in hand at pretty much all times. One in graveyard, one in hand gets you the whole field spell working. So for spells, I've got first off 3 Dark World dealings. Both players draw a card, then discard a card. Dark World Mirror Match, gotta be kind of annoying. I've never had one, but pretty interesting. This helps you get the field spell. You might draw the field spell. You can discard Snow, search the field spell, there you go. This just helps you get your discarding effects, and it speeds up the deck. Very good card. Now, the next part that makes the deck really powerful, the Gates of Dark World. I'll just read it word for word. All Fiend monsters gain 300 attack and defense. Once per turn, you can banish 1 Fiend-type monster from your graveyard, discard 1 Fiend-type monster, then draw 1 card. So basically, take out a Fiend, put in a Fiend, and draw a card. So if you discard Brow, you draw 2 cards. Discard Snow, draw a card, and search your deck. They all get their discard effects, and it's really, really amazing. That's what makes this deck work so well. It makes Snow normal summonable to use Deck Devastation Virus. It gives you an easy 3000 drop. It's just very, very good. So it just makes the deck special summon like crazy and draw like crazy and just drop everything. 2 Terraforming just in case. They're nice bluffs if you need them. And they search the field spell. I couldn't rely on getting it with Snow, and because I only have 4 cards in here really that discard, so if I don't draw it, I'm in trouble. Allure of Darkness, obviously I have like 21, 20, something like that. Dark monsters, easy draw. Foolish, if you don't have a Dark World engrave and you have the field spell and want to use it, or if you want to put Grapha engrave, that works too. Reborn, pretty self-explanatory card. And same with Dark Hole. So next up, for the traps, I have 3 Deck Devastation Virus. Pretty simple. Tribute a dark monster with 2000 or more attack. That's where the field spell comes in, along with Snow. And basically it becomes a crush card for 1500 or less, as opposed to 1500 or more. Very good. Makes the deck very nice because it can abuse it with Grapha. If the field spell's out, you can abuse it with Snow. You can abuse it with the gold you dropped, the Silva you dropped. Just insanely easy to do in this deck. I'm not using Eradicator Epidemic Virus, but I'd probably side 1 or 2 of them, just for decks with pesky spells and traps. Or if there's a trap-heavy or spell-heavy deck, you can absolutely annihilate them with the combination of deck dev and Eradicator Epidemic. But I'm not doing that in this deck because I had to work on the spells and traps. Without those, just wasn't enough room, and I figured I could throw in the next 4 cards, and they would cover for the spells and traps that might annoy you, and then if you need to, you can side out for the deck devastation viruses, or rather the Eradicator Epidemic viruses. So 1 Solemn Judgment and 3 Dark Bribes. So the Dark Bribes are in there because I have protection against weak monsters that might potentially synchro. I've got Solemn just in case they summon something annoying, and let's face it, they're not getting over my 3,000 or 2,600 attack people, or just 2,000 attack normal summon, and me being able to destroy their cards, special summon easily, and if it comes down to it and I have to, I can side into Eradicator Epidemic Virus. So it's a very nice deck, pretty consistent. Sometimes you'll start slow, but then once you draw the 1 card you need, you will just go off like crazy. So, easy deck to make. All you have to make this is basically Morphing Jar, Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, and Solemn Judgment, plus your 3 Dark World decks. So, really doesn't cost much to make. It's a nice deck to play. It's a very good deck. I don't want to discourage anyone from using it, but in my opinion it is overpowered. So personally I'm probably not going to use it very often. But it's a fun deck to play. I like playing it. And I do kind of recommend it to people. Unlike Agents, where I think it's just cheaply overpowered, Dark Worlds are very good, but the reason that people say they're going to top and everything is probably because of Tour Guide. And to me, that's kind of fair, that it takes 3 really expensive cards to make it top tier. And it's overall pretty well balanced, because you have to discard, and it is harder to manage than people think. I'm not saying it's hard to manage, but there are times where you get yourself in trouble if you try to overextend, so it forces you to be kind of balanced. It has its weaknesses like every deck, and I do not want to discourage anyone from playing it. It's very fun. I hope this helped you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see some people respond to the fact that I made this deck and respond in a positive way. I'm sure I'll get some people who don't like this. That's fine. But, you know, I've done practically everything there is to do with Jurax right now. I'll obviously update them as more evils come out, and I can integrate those in. I'll update it every time I see it necessary, and I'll cover evils once those start coming out. So I have some stuff to do on this channel, but I do think that I've done enough to prove that I am very dedicated to Jurax, and at this point I feel that since I've proven that I'm dedicated to Jurax, I can show you guys some other stuff as well, and help out people who aren't just Jurax players, because I did start this channel to help Jurax players out, but I do want to help everyone as much as I can, but I know there wasn't as much stuff out there for Jurax, and there probably won't be as much out for Evils. So I decided to show you guys that stuff first, and a lot of it, just to give you guys ideas, help you guys out, give you an understanding for all of that kind of stuff, and now I want to help everyone else out too. Especially because now I've reached a lot of people, and this will just help you guys get more well-rounded at Yu-Gi-Oh! And on top of that, understanding a deck like Dark Worlds that you guys will probably see a lot will help you beat Dark Worlds. I'll give you guys some specific Jurax versus Dark World advice in the future, hopefully, and that should help you guys out. So, until next time, have a nice day, YouTube.